Hello and welcome to yet another video on Adil Azmat Cockpit. In today's video, which is going to be a really important video for me, I am going to briefly discuss about the way that I used to make the videos about the military equipment on the other side of the border. And if you look at the initial videos of mine, the videos that I started posting on YouTube, they were reflective of how military analysis gets combined, unfortunately, with from where you belong. I mean, if, for example, the Indian Air Force, if they induct the F-16s, their military analysts would start talking about the F-16 as one of the best fighter jets in the world, start portraying all the qualities of F-16s, the BVR capability, even the looks of the F-16. They would say that the F-16 is quite, a modern platform, irrespective of its age, irrespective of the time when it was first inducted, irrespective of the technology. And if Pakistan Air Force inducts Su-30 MKI, all of us would be in praise for the Su-30 MKI, not MKIs, rather it's going to be Su-30, not MKI. MKI is the specialized variant for the Indian Air Force, by the Indian Air Force. So they have upgraded it to their own personal requirements. So if you look at, for example, You Gotta Be Kidding Me series, I would accept that the initial videos of mine, I started off by being a stereotype. Yes, that if it's the Indian Air Force, if it's the Indian Navy, if it's the Indian Army, let's not talk of the equipment as the equipment itself. Let's talk of the equipment when the equipment is connected to the Indian Air Force, the Indian Army, the Indian Navy. And I believe this is where we get wrong on both sides of the border. If you look at their analysis, if you look at all the YouTubers over there on the other side of the border, when they are talking of the JF-17 Thunder, they tend to only talk about or even create negative sides of the war machine and then portray it that as if it's nothing. Same pattern is followed over here. And you can see that I have shifted from that dimension to the one I try to be objective on a lot of issues now. I really, and when I am doing my military analysis now, it's a lot different from the way that I used to do the military analysis way back. I haven't deleted those videos. Those videos are still there. Those videos are still there because there is no point in deleting them. My thoughts have evolved. I believe that maturity lies when we start making analysis on a particular topic, on the war machines, on the quality of the stuff, rather than from where the stuff belongs to, from where the stuff has come, from where it's going, who is utilizing it, who is using the stuff. For example, if it is the F-16s, when I'm talking of the F-16s, I should not portray the F-16s as the ultimate flying machines, capable of doing each and everything in the sky. And when they talk of Su-30 MKIs or Rafales, they shouldn't portray Rafales as the ultimate machine, the flying machine that can do everything. When we talk of Tejas, instead of just referring to Tejas as a failed aircraft that most of YouTubers would say over here, look at the positive sides of it. When they talk of the JF-17 Thunder, look at the positive sides of it. look at how much these two countries are doing in the defense industry, at least in a sector where they are indigenizing cutting-edge technologies. It's not an easy task making fighter jets. It's a very difficult task, especially for a country like Pakistan, because you need an industrial base. So an objective defense analysis is going to be the one in which we forget that who owns what. Talk about the machine, talk about the good points of the machine, talk about the bad aspects, talk about its shortcoming, radar cross section, talk about its avionics, talk about its radar, talk about its maneuverability, talk about its aerial performance, talk about everything connected with it, rather than first thinking where it belongs, which country owns what, and then you start building a sort of a imaginary stuff around it that if you own this machine is the best machine in the world. If you don't, well, it's the worst. So we tend to take extremes when we are doing analysis of military equipment, which is against the spirit of defense analysis. One should not do that. I do understand that Tejas is a very small aircraft, pretty small, and size matters. Yes, size matters. Even in fighter jet categories, size matters. It can be a good interceptor. It can fulfill the role of its airfield, protection very well. So for missions not requiring a combat radius, a lot of it, Tejas is good enough to take off and fulfill the role. Tejas has got this AESA radar, integration of the BBRs, then MFDs in the cockpit, HMDs as well. It has got the American engine. It has got the American engine, a reliable one. So instead of making fun of it that it looks like a samosa, I believe that a true analysis on both sides of the border would be that, come on, take the machine on its merit. And every machine has got certain drawbacks. You talk of F-22 Raptor. Just listen to what the Russians have got to say about that. What the Chinese have to say about that, because they know, because they have to counter that F-22 Raptor in the air. They know the drawbacks of F-22 as well. It's not the ultimate flying machine. And this is what they try to do with their own equipment. They try to upgrade their equipment so that it outmatches the F-22 in aerial combat. Therefore, I can say that my thought has evolved. My thought has evolved from taking extreme positions just because a machine is used by my country or not by my country, that I should try to find the good points in that machine and try to hide the bad points of the machine. Because that is against the true spirit of analysis. And my true analysis would be irrespective of what is being done on the other side of the border. I don't care if there are less people on the other side of the border taking care of this thing, that military analysis should be done without taking sides. Every machine, whether it sails in the ocean, flies in the sky, runs on the land, it's in the hand of a soldier. It has to be respected. It has to be analyzed to the very detail, in its true spirit. There is a lot of research and development going on for every country. I hope that the two countries, shake hands in the future research and development. But again, that is not the ambit of my military analysis. So let's talk of Tejas. So Tejas is a very small aircraft. It is small and nimble. It is a delta wing aircraft. Canards would have done better, but again, because it is so small, the design parameters of Tejas won't allow canards. And because it's a delta wing aircraft, it has got its own limitations to maneuverability. But again, certain speed parameters. And remember that they do not produce an aircraft out of imagination. Their Air Force gives them the input that this is what they require and this is what they make. So I'm pretty much sure, just like the JF-17 Thunder caters for the requirements of the Pakistan Air Force, their Air Force must have got certain specifications for their R&D section to come up with an aircraft which meets their certain requirements, which we are unaware of. It has got a reliable engine. It has got an American engine. So when we are comparing Tejas with JF-17 Thunder, both aircrafts are good enough, but one of the edge that the JF-17 Thunder gets is that it has been way ahead in its induction in the Air Force, and it achieved a very quick operational induction in the Air Force. More importantly, on February 27, 2019, JF-17 Thunders took active participation in an air operation, and it was a very important operation for the Pakistan Air Force. Why I would go back to the 27th February of 2019 is that it was because of this operation on 27th of February 2019 against the Indian Air Force, against the military land targets. It was because for the first time, and it was, I believe, for the first time, the execution was done of a mission which involved the integration of all of the platforms, including the use of the Falcon EWs, including the AWACS, including all of the other flying assets, including the ground radars. All of these combinations, and even I can safely assume that all the satellites, all of the assets came together, they gelled into one, and Pakistan Air Force was able to deliver a strike with precision and came back with at least 2 kills, at least 1 kill. The other was a friendly fire incident in which the Indian air defense shot down their own Mi-27. So in future you will see the military analysis of mine based on the merits and demerits of the machine only. Machine only, based on the merits and demerits of machine only, and nothing more. Nothing more and nothing less. Irrespective of from which country, what's the country of origin, because whatever machines that they have, we can have it in future. We can have an Su-27 in future, why not? They can have F-16s in future, why not? If we get enough money, we can have Rafales, why not? So that's all for today.